What's up, guys? Sub-Zeric here, back for another VOD review. Today, doing another game from the Americas Regionals Finals. And today, we're going to watch some dank memes, because this guy, he just went on a crazy run this entire Regionals tournament. He is one of the few players who came in through Tier 2, made it into Tier 1, and, I mean, he just dominated Regionals, week 1, allowing himself to make it back into Tier 1. And then the finals, I mean, he made it all the way to the finals in week 2 and then almost won out on the finals. It was super, super close. He had a game where he actually could have won out, but just barely didn't make it. So wanted to watch him dank memes because I really do feel like he was maybe, I think it's pretty consensus to say that he was the best player on the day, which, I mean, is just really cool to see. Dank memes finally someone who's getting his flowers, was not even in Tier 1 for the last couple of sets, which is just crazy here. First augment here, none of these really jump out at me. Expedition is definitely one that you could be excited about, for sure. He will be the only player of this game with the possibility of getting Expedition, because that's how Expedition works nowadays. So we could take that. Don't quite have the Primordian opener yet. Look at that. Wow, that's already a crazy call that I think so few people would make, is he actually takes the 2-1, 1-2-3 here instead of Expedition. Just saying, you know what, I would prefer to just have the Econ just to start my game from a playable spot here. I don't have an Econ Augment that's actually going to fuel Expedition here. And so, yeah, I would rather just go for this. Also, my thingy's not on here. I'll turn this on for you guys, but it takes like a million clicks to actually turn on. Boom! There you go. Look, little movie magic, seeing how they do it. You never would have thought that I had to actually turn that light on with a button, huh? And in any case, we are just going to lost streak this stage. The opener looks pretty mediocre to me, honestly. We have a lot of pairs on bench here. So that's the only upside, is like maybe we could find like a Leona 2 or a Rek'Sai 2 to play around, but like, and then what? You know, there's nothing too crazy. And we opt even to not hold the Rek'Sai pair there, interestingly enough. So yeah, we're just going to pick up the Leona. And this gives us maybe some direction towards what we want to play this game, but still kind of just chilling here and lost streaking and doing a lot of scouting in the lobby. Obviously, we'd love to pick up something like an Ezreal here and be able to get 3 Timebreaker in and have that good lost streak opener. But for now, we're just lost streak and no econ trait, no nothing, which doesn't feel great, I would say, usually in TFT. But all right, going to first carousel here. Kale Soraka can take the tier or the belt here. We're just going to take the belt because it finishes out solid damage items or tank items. And then we're going to pick up the Diana with Rod here. So you can kind of see a little bit what Dank Memes is trying to angle towards here. He starts off with the fact that we have Leona 2. Now we get this Diana here, and if there were ever a doubt about what we want to play, boom, we get Arbiter here, and is actually going to go for the gold gen Arbiter. So to talk a little bit about kind of like AP Arbiter these days, I feel like this line's actually gotten a lot better recently. A few patches ago, this line felt pretty mediocre. Obviously, there was the patch where Leona Printer was like broken. And now people will play Leona Printer, do pretty well with it, but it's oftentimes, you play Leona Printer, eventually you reach LeBlanc as your main carry, and then once you reach her, you actually start to have a really, really good time. This unit has felt really strong. Oh, sorry, I literally just woke up a few minutes ago and wanted to record this video. But yes, this LeBlanc unit has felt insanely strong after the more recent buffs, and so yeah, that is what Dank Memes is going to very likely angle towards, and I think it's a great call. Also, another great call. I was a little scared that we might accidentally win a fight here with all of our upgraded units on board, but nope, he holds the line, loses the fight, and gets that nice 5 loss with 3 Arbiter in. So, beautiful loss streak from Dank Memes here. Once again, we didn't have an Econ trait until now, but now we have this Econ trait, and it already made us some gold. And the nice thing is that you can just drop out of Arbiter late game. If you print Leona, you can drop out of Arbiter late game. If you don't print Leona, like a spot like this is why he took Econ here, is because the board they were very likely to play doesn't even play Arbiter, and we'll talk about it more when we get there. But yeah, he's doing also really good diligent scouting in the lobby, just saying like, okay, what is everybody else playing here? What do I want to play? How uncontested is LeBlanc in a spot like this? Up to take the tier here. Doesn't find a single bow here, which is actually really, really rough. So he's going to be able to make Vow plus Death Cap. But yeah, was really, I would imagine, looking for the bow there so he could get to the Winsu's Rage Blade. And actually, he's considering we're going to take Sword here. Wow. Okay. I'm curious to see how this all shakes out. Next augment here. Small grab bag at least gives you a chance of fixing your items a bit, and fixing your items, it does a pretty good job of that. Now we have the ability to slam some more stuff here. We're gonna get Victor in, going to make the Smoj in here, which is not really a LeBlanc item, but can be a duo carry item very easily. And yeah, this just gives us a very nice triple slam here. And we're actually pretty strong now with these items on Zoe too. That's the other thing I'll say about this line, though I think people know it at this point into the set, is that Zoe's kind of a monster. This unit just does a lot of work in the early game. Obviously, having a damage arbiter makes things even better, but even so, obviously we rotate into a Victor 2 board here, so we were always going to lose that. But oftentimes Zoe will just delete people. The only thing that you have to be careful about with Zoe is that she is one of these units where she will either kill everything or kill nothing because she spreads her damage out. That was obviously a fight where she barely killed anything. If you have a good fight, though, she will be killing pretty much everything. Sometimes just like nuking backline from your from the safety of your own backline, which is really sick to see. But yeah, here was a fight where this board doesn't have that much damage, so Zoe should just be able to chew through everything. And yeah, you can see, I mean, she's just killing most of the backline. I mean, the Jax is the last unit alive because Zoe just has so much backline access built into her kit. All right, going into Carousel here. Still, I mean, the world's our oyster. We can kind of play whatever we want. And so we are just going to pick up the Nami with Rod here. So this is more the idea for now, is that we're going to play for Nami as a carry. Curious to see if he wants to play Nami as the main carry in this spot here, or if he does want to keep items onto the Zoe 2 for now, because, Zoe 2 obviously pretty good. And of course, we're going to fit the Alawi onto the board for now. Eventually, a lot of this stuff can come out. He's also even, going to drop out of the TK here, saying, I need to be strong here. I straight up need to be as strong as possible here. So I am going to drop the TK, even though he's going to print me. It's really not that much gold that he's going to print me at the end of the day. And I mean, look at a fight like this. This fight very well could have been a Nami diff here, and winning that fight is really, really nice. Also, what's nice is actually picking up now Nami pair and the Ornn here. This actually opens up ideas of just playing Space Crew from this spot. This is something we saw a lot of people do across the course of the weekend, is they would just play vertical Space Groove, no spat, no nothing. You would just play 5 Space Groove and, have a good time with it. And that's something that we have to consider in a spot like this, especially at this point in regionals. When the meta is this balanced, you have to be flexible on this patch. If you are not flexible on this patch in spots like this, it is going to absolutely grief your game, because you might lose access to like a really, really strong line that you could otherwise play. And I mean, look, there's a Riven in shop as well. We'll see if he wants to hold on to that, because yeah, he is hitting very, very hard for this Space Groove line here. All right, next couple of items, the bow plus the glove does find Meepsy too, finds a bunch of bows here, is actually not going to hold Riven here. So I think he's saying, it's not that important to hold Riven here. Even if I do play around Nami, I can just do something like this, throw these items onto Nami and not worry too much about it. And the red buff is going to come down as well. So yeah, this is going to be our setup for now, really just every step of the way making a good item slam. Just saying, what is the item that I can slam here that will allow my board to spike and put me into a spot to save HP? Because I mean, we're only 54 HP because we took that really big loss streak. If we gridded more items, we'd be down to like 40 HP, and that's not a good spot to play games of TFT out from, usually. Gonna pre-level up here, just looking for last augment here. Exile seems fine, but then we see Electro Charge and do pick that up. There is finally our LeBlanc, as we've talked about. Great unit to play into here. Can take a TG here, and the Nami 2, which is big. Gonna continue to roll down. Does find Nunu 2, which is also big. So now we can get 4 Vanguard in, move these items over, and I mean, the board's looking pretty great. Gonna keep the Zoe in for now. Don't really need her in, obviously, for, Arbiter purposes. Arbiter is just an econ trait, but she's Conduit as well, and she's a great spreader of the red buff, so no reason not to be playing the Zoe on this board. And hey, if we farm a little gold, all good. But yeah, this is kind of a standard Vanguard AP flex board, but you can also see the LeBlanc waiting in the wings here on our bench, hoping to come in later. And yeah, he is now gonna swap into the 5 Shepherd board. This is, I would say, the much more like standard version of the board that you will play a lot of the time is play Shepherd, always play 5 Shepherd. Nunu fits in, really nicely as just the Vanguard frontline for this board. You can also fit Morgana in on this board. You can see we have Karma in right now, just Voyager Darkstar, great traits, but like these last few slots, like the Nami and the Karma on this board, these can come out for things like Morgana, or worst case, if you don't even hit any Nunus, you can drop Nunu for Morgana, who is really the premier tank on this line. Rod's gonna come down for us, and the bow must come down here, I would think. Dank still doing a lot of scouting, being very diligent, saying, does it even make sense for me to build LeBlanc items? Like, am I going to hit LeBlanc 2 in this lobby? And he scouts enough and says, there's some people who want to play towards LeBlanc, but not so many that it's going to be impossible to hit. So this is our spot now, is this Nami. Very, very strong to play around. And this will honestly allow us to just coast to level 9, where we can truly cap the board. Because this board's fine and good, and it's nice, but where this line does truly thrive is when you are making it to level 9, making it to level 10, getting your 5 costs to play around. You can keep playing around LeBlanc. Eventually LeBlanc can become stuff like Vex, or not stuff like Vex, just Vex, and it's quite strong. It's very, very strong. Even the Nasus 2 is what we're going to hold on to here, just as a possibility. He's kind of considering as there's something else I want to put in here, but surely the 5 Shepherd has to stay in for now. Yeah, I think finally we're at this point in the set where 5 Shepherd actually feels quite balanced. It was kind of too weak for a very, very long time, and now it's finally there. Also, speaking of finally there, the Belveth is finally onto our backline, which actually really, really rough. We drop our streak here just because of some really smart positioning out of the Jinx player. This is how Jinx works. It's very, very, very annoying to play around when stuff like this happens. Yeah, I think you're forced to take this here. I guess you could go double mana Nami. I mean, you're not allowed to throw a blue buff onto a LeBlanc. This makes no sense. So yeah, just doubled mana Nami onto her, and then we can move the JG over to the LeBlanc here. Makes a lot of sense, and this will be our item setup to finish out the game. We do, of course, we have red buff made, but no Void Staff, so no Armor Shred, or MR Shred built this game, but it's really awkward to roll down for specifically MR Shred on the Treasure Dragon there, so this is kind of what we have to be happy with, and what we are very happy with is, look at our econ, 7-6 gold here. We are looking at going level 9, probably in a couple of rounds here on interval, and picking up this win makes it way easier actually just to chill one. Before, we'd be kind of afraid of like, okay, like, do I need to level in this spot? And now you can actually just be very, very chill about sacking one. And we pick up the Ross, who is a fantastic addition onto this board. We can, usually the big unit to find on 9 is Sona, because we don't really love playing Teemo right now, and Sona over Teemo is a huge upgrade. But the Ross is also a huge upgrade for this board as well. 6 trait Ross bonus is amazing. So we will very, very likely get that in on level up here, hoping to get another free win here, but sadly we are going to take the loss versus Darth Noob here, drop to 33 HP. And honestly, I mean, nothing is guaranteed in this game, right? It's not like we high rolled super hard and had an easy path to top 4 this game. I mean, look, it's very, very close here. We are going to level up here, get our extra component off of the Poon that we took, which is funny. Do finally find LeBlanc too, and even opt to just sell out of the Vex here, saying there's no reason to play for it. Also opt to get the Nasus in on this board. Okay, and then we find the Morgana, and I do think, I'm actually a little surprised that we played Morg 1, no item, over the Ross, because I thought the Ross bonus was better here. But I will say Morg is a disgustingly strong unit these days. A lot of people say that she is the single best tank in the entire game nowadays. If you can reach Morg 2, then you just have an amazing time. She scales fantastically with HP, so if you have a lot of HP items, I mean, eventually this more, I mean, we could go Vow and move the Warmogs down to her is definitely something you could consider. But yeah, it's definitely what you want to play. Or Crown Guard as well. Yeah, AP and HP scaling is both fantastic. Like, I'm pretty sure BIS is Warmogs, Crown Guard, and we saw that once or twice in regionals, and that Morgana was like completely unkillable. And that's what Dank Memes is saying in the spot is, I would rather just have this really, really good tank on my board, even though like the DR is not that great in this spot compared to Arbiter Mar. He just likes her 4 unit quality, which makes a lot of sense here. Also note that we're not holding onto Bard. He just doesn't have a great in on this board. Okay, and now he is going to swap over to the Ross, and he's like, okay, what are we doing? Maybe we should play the Ross here, and does make the swap. Okay, this makes a lot more sense to me. I think definitely once you reach Morgana 2, she should come back in. But for now, this actually makes a lot of sense. And yeah, top 4 almost locked in. Really, really need to win a fight, though. We're rotating into another LeBlanc board for Upset Max. I mean, if you guys watched regionals, you saw this was probably the most contested line in the entire tournament. Is just every single lobby, 2, 3 people trying to play towards LeBlanc, just because of how consistently strong this unit is. She's just a monster. And you can see here, I mean, without even that many resources, Guinsoo red buff. I mean, red buff is not an amazing LeBlanc item. It's attack speed, but it's not like she really applies it to the entire board very well. So not amazing items by any stretch of the imagination, but still pretty good here. Also, now that he has more gold, he opts to, yeah, look at this. He was playing the Morgue for a little while, hoping that he could hit. But then, the second he realizes that I can't hit, he does get the Rast back in here. Also, look at that beautiful TG onto the, I mean, honestly, great TGs all around. The IE not amazing onto Karma, but that Sona TG is disgusting here. All right, you're going to rotate into this Corki board. This must be Soju, right? Yep, Soju, just the Corki merchant, loves to play for that top 4, maybe to his detriment sometimes, and just played a humble Corki game too. I think he might go 4th in this lobby, but we'll see. Gets a solid frontline TG and is actually going to move it to the Alawi here. This could have gone on Sona and it would have been okay, but I actually like it a lot onto the Alawi here. I mean, both items work as tank items, and you definitely need more frontline than more backline in this spot here. Getting those extra frontline items is really nice. So yeah, and we're going to rotate into Darth Noob here, who has this very strong space group board, another really hard contested board. Just barely going to lose the fight because Blitzcrank is a genius and makes us walk to frontline and then starts punching backline here. But hey, it's enough. We win the fight, or we lose the fight, but we save a little bit of HP. Pick up the Sona, which is huge here, and this is going to be our board here. This is another kind of cool little pivot that you can make here, is play the Victor on this board here. Don't even have Conduit in, but just getting an extra item is really nice here. Rotate into Upset Max. Is Upset Max our dad in this spot here? He is playing the same line as us and looks quite strong here. Does have the Morgana 2, which is a big diff, and just barely we're going to lose the fight, and it's a 3rd for Dank Meme. Still a really, really nicely played game from him, just showing off the power of this line, and the fact that the line goes 1-3 also just shows how disgustingly strong it is. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch, if I am, I'll stop below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, as always. Bye-bye.